Well, before the pageant, I had about a week to prepare. It was pretty short notice. My name's Megan Perry. I am the 2007 Hadlock Days Queen. I did some training with Geraldine Colwell, who is pretty much the coordinator of this whole pageant, and she showed me how to conduct myself up on stage and be more poised. Well, one of the skills she taught me was a big thing, keep the chin up. Actually, one of the tips she gave me was keep my hands in a ball and just rest them within the middle of your collarbone, just like that, and don't let it fall anymore, because that's one of those things, if your chin is down, it makes you look a little bit like you don't have the self-confidence that a person needs to exude that aura of being confident. And aside from that, stand up straight, shoulders back, which is something I've always had a problem with. It's just don't clump your heels on there. Just try and be elegant, graceful, and instead of walking, glide across the stage. For me, one of the hardest things was keeping my chin up and my shoulders back and smiling a lot. I'm not used to smiling a lot. I'm not one of those people that walks down the halls like with a big huge smile on my face. I tend to just keep a straight face most of the day, and for me it's just, I could feel my muscles starting to twitch in my mouth, and I was just hoping to God that people weren't seeing that and going, what is wrong with her? I did a lot of practicing at home, the smiling especially. When I like to read a lot, so when I was sitting there reading, I would just plaster a smile on my face for 10 or 15 minutes at a time, and then let myself rest for a few minutes, and then plaster it back on, and just so I could get the muscles used to it. I wore my heels pretty much everywhere around the house because they were pretty uncomfortable, and I wanted to break them in, make sure that I could get used to walking in them, because they're slingbacks, so I have something going around the back of them that likes to fall off, and I don't want my shoe flying off while I'm walking across the stage. That would not be very graceful. We have a mark that we do, it's just like keeping your upper half of the body out towards the crowd, and your pelvis tilted a little bit away from them, so you get the thinnest profile possible. And I would just walk around the house, 1, 2, 3, okay, mark, and then keep going again, hold it for a little while, and 1, 2, 3, okay, mark again, hold it for another few seconds. And that really helped me to just make it something more second nature, something I didn't have to think about. Most of the leadership that I've been involved with has been through 4-H, my horse 4-H, and now I'm one of the older kids. I'm a senior this year, actually. I only have 1 year left, and I'm secretary of the entire project and president of my personal club, so I get a lot of leadership there. I have to remind people, hey, we've got a meeting next week, don't forget. Make sure you come, and make sure you've got your certificates turned in so that you can ride your horse at fair, and make sure that you're actually enrolled so that you can get your premium money. And with secretary, it's been something completely different for me because I don't usually take notes, so I've had to be really on top of taking notes and making sure that people get the minutes that I take. Within 4-H, I find myself being a role model whether I like it or not, because there's a lot of little girls out there that they see me in my riding, they see the way that I treat my horse and the way that I poise myself within 4-H, maybe getting a white ribbon, which isn't so great, and being able to say, hey, you know what, it's just one white ribbon. The next class I'll do a lot better. And I think that girls seeing that and seeing that attitude from somebody older will rub off on them. I hope it does, so that when they get to that level, they can be a good role model to girls below them. My 3rd year in 4-H, I got my own horse, and the day before school got out that year, it was June 15th, I remember, I fell off my horse while we were jumping, and I broke my pelvis. And I was let know that I wouldn't be riding that year. Actually, I couldn't ride for 4 months, so it was pretty hard for me, but I went to fair anyway, and I took him, and I gimped around the fairgrounds on my own, leading him around, and just doing the classes that I could. And even though I couldn't run, I went and I did showmanship anyway, and I did it to the best of my ability. And I think that it's just something, it's a good example for kids to see that even if you can't ride, there's a lot you can do with your horse, and you can work on skills like groundwork, because my horse likes to run over me sometimes. So it was a good time for me to just show him, you know what, I'm the boss, you're not. And I think that was a particularly hard time for me because I was just there, and I can remember one day in the barn when I had him sitting next to me and I was standing on a bench, and I was just thinking to myself, it would be so easy to just hop on right now and ride away and completely ruin all the work that I've done. And I had to hold myself back, and it was hard, but I did it anyway. If any girl came up to me and they asked just for one piece of advice that I truly believe anybody should follow, I would say follow your dreams. I know it's a cliche, but just don't worry about what people tell you. Don't worry if somebody tells you, oh no, you can never do that. That's going to cost a lot of money. Or, you know, you have a disability. You're not going to be able to do that. I just say, you know what? Tell people, heck with that. I don't care. And just don't let people hinder you from that. Don't let them get in your way, and just have fun with what you're doing and go after those dreams.